up, guys? So I just decided to put my truck on the stage 4 tune since I did the valve body. I didn't video me doing the valve body. It was kind of a pain. It wasn't too crazy bad, but I'd never done it before, and I don't work on automatic transmissions that much, so I chose not to video that. But I've been doing a lot on my truck. I put the valve body in, I put a B&W gooseneck hitch in. I got some things in store, and I've been getting my truck ready for it, so I hadn't been making videos. But I figured today we would test out stage 4 tune on my truck, and then we'll get down to my 240 a little bit. I hadn't messed with it too much, but I'm gonna be going to a mid-pond drift event October 9th, so I want to get it ready for that. It'll be the first drift event that I've ever drifted it at, so stay tuned for that. That was in 3rd gear. That was 3rd gear. Holy shit. I didn't expect all that. That's ridiculous. I didn't think it would be like that. That was 3rd gear.
It broke loose immediately.
Immediately. Like under partial throttle, and then I like gave it some more and it just kept going. I didn't think it could get too much rowdy. I didn't think the stage 3 tune was that rowdy. This is 170 horse. I think it's 170 horse and like 400 foot-pounds of torque or something. I can't remember. It's something ridiculous. It is ridiculous, like completely ridiculous for a factory truck. I would not expect that it could do all this. So today, I think I'm gonna expose you guys to the mess that is my wiring harness on my 240. I try not to show it because it's pretty ugly and I've been neglecting it, and I really just don't want to mess with it, but it's getting to that point where I've finished most of the rest of my car and I really need to get to it because it's really ugly. So today I'm addressing one of the first things that we need to mess with, which is my fuel pump wiring. So if you guys hadn't noticed in my videos, I've been actually taking this relay off and I've been jumping my fuel pump relay with this jumper wire, and that's how I have to start my car every single time. Because for some reason it looks like I'm not getting any signal from this purple and white wire here. So normally I would have gotten signal from this purple and white wire, and what it would have done is sent signal over to the relay when I turn my car on to send signal or send power from my battery right here straight to my fuel pump. But that's not happening. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a new signal. I'm gonna run a new wire. I have a whole bundle of wire right here. I think I'm gonna use purple because that's the closest I can get to the purple and white. So what we'll do is we'll run a new wire for the signal back over to the accessories, and so whenever I turn the ignition on, the fuel pump will be on, kind of the same way I have my fans. Basically my fans are set up to where if I turn the key on, they're on. Probably not the best way to do it. I should have those wired to temp, but I have an old school ECU, so I don't have outputs for that. So basically every time I turn on the key, my fans are on. So we'll do the same thing with the fuel pump, and I won't have to sit there and jump the fuel pump off every time I want to start my car. It's pretty annoying. It's gotten really old. I've tried to trace down the actual wiring problem that's causing me to not get signal from the purple and white wire, but I'm pretty annoyed with it, and I can't figure out what the problem is. My fuse is fine. All of my fuses are good. The wiring is good from what I can see, so I don't get why it wouldn't work. So we're just gonna run our own custom wire. This is my sea of wires that I've been hiding from you guys. This is where the fuel pump fuse would be. I took it out to play around with the wiring, but all of this is still out here because one of my headlights doesn't work. It's my passenger headlight doesn't work. When it does, it actually makes my power wire to my ECU hot. So something is getting ground or something that it shouldn't whenever that wire's hooked up. So yeah, I don't know. It's a nightmare. I hate wiring. I kind of wish I wouldn't have tucked my wiring harness. I mean, my engine bay looks really clean, but trust me, the wiring issues afterwards aren't worth it. The main problem is that I started tucking this wiring harness before I got a job. I was in between jobs, and I got a job in the middle of the project, and then I basically forgot about all of my labels. My labels came off from it sitting and stuff like that, and I forgot what I was doing, and I tried to put it back together and I forgot where everything was. You can see right here where I didn't quite cover it up. I need to, but yeah, you get the idea. All nice and wire tucked, but really it's a nightmare. I mean, I guess it looks cool for the most part, but if I were to do it again, I would not tuck my wiring. I'm not a wiring expert. I wish I had some friends that could help me that knew what they were doing with wiring, but I don't, so I have to make do with what I have. So today we're gonna fix that fuel pump, and potentially maybe we'll find out why my headlight causes my power wire on my ECU to get hot. Okay, so after a lot of troubleshooting and looking at diagrams and stuff, I didn't record it because I was kind of like stumped and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I went to run a whole new wire from this wire right here as a signal, and I ran it and I couldn't get my fuel pump to kick on. So I was kind of really stumped, and I was trying to track down the factory wiring and stuff. And you know what? It turned out to be the dumbest thing ever, and it always is. Check your grounds, kids. Always check your grounds. My ground looked like it was solid. I had it bolted down to the fuel pump cover right here, and actually it was right there, and I thought it was good, and I guess it was not. So I moved the ground to right here directly off the battery, and wouldn't you know, my car fired right up. Look at this. So I feel really stupid. So now I'm gonna go ahead and clean up that wiring and tuck it all away so it's not a mess anymore. And now I can turn off my car and turn it on without jumping the fuel pump every single time. So that's really cool. I'm also gonna go ahead and turn up my fuel and my map because I'm not gonna have time to get it dyno tuned by Forest before October 9th when I go to the drift event in Mid Pond. So I'm just gonna do the best I can and just make sure it has plenty of fuel up top and just enjoy it for what it is. So I'm gonna take it for a cruise, and I'm gonna do, to this day, I haven't done 2 redline pulls in it. So I'm gonna adjust the fuel, and we're gonna do 2 redline pulls in it and see what it's got, and make sure everything's all right. Okay guys, so where we left off last night, my interior was all ripped apart, my wiring was a mess, and I was trying to figure out my wiring issue. Well, I found my wiring issue, and it really, I guess, wasn't that big of an issue, but for a year and a half, I didn't realize that I forgot to run power to my fuse boxes. So if you guys are doing a motor swap or whatever, and you relocate your battery, don't forget that your fuse box power still needs power. So that caused all kinds of weird issues with my car. One of them being that my car would die as soon as I started it up. It would take me like 3 starts to get it running. When my doors would open and stuff because of the seat belts, my car would bog down and stuff like that. My climate control didn't work properly. Kind of all sorts of weird issues. Like when I was on the dyno, my car wasn't getting enough fuel, and my fuel pump was acting weird, and it's because my car was completely pulling power off of my ECU power. So yeah, you guys make sure that you do that. But I ran the wire and everything, and tidied everything back up. I sort of tucked my harness so it's not laying in my floorboard anymore. Also, both of my headlights work. Everything works now. So it's a completely working car. I kind of got these out of the way. They're not laying in the floorboard anymore, but I mean, you can put your feet down. My goal is to tuck these up and put my glove box back on so you can't see these anymore, but for now you can see them. But it's better than it was. You can actually use the floorboard. My interior looks a lot better now. Okay, so let's see if it'll start first try. Still bogging. But you can see it hasn't ran yet today or anything. This is the first start of the day. It hasn't ran, and it started and ran first try. Look at that. Doesn't bog down the car anymore. Look at this. We'll put this on brights. Not bogging down the car at all. You guys have no idea. I'm big excited about this. My car has never been this complete ever. It actually just does what it's supposed to do. I don't have to hot wire my fuel pump anymore. It just works. So it's most of the way ready for a drift event. If you guys didn't know, I'll be at Mid Pond on October 9th for Jackson Saxon's drift event. So catch me there. I'll be driving this thing. It'll be the first event that I've ever drifted this car at. So stay tuned for that. I still need a welded differential to make that event. It's gonna be my first time ever actually drifting this car. I've never drifted it. So definitely stay tuned for that. So I played with the tune a little bit a few minutes ago. I spent forever setting my idle. It's idling just about 1,000. I wanted it to idle a little lower, but my ECU, I guess, is doing something weird. Every time I try to get it below 1,000, it tries to like die out, and then it restores and then it dies out. So I'm just gonna stick with about 1,000. But we're ready to do some full pulls, and I'll show you what this thing has got. Boost creeps around 16 PSI. It doesn't really make it much faster, but it's pretty quick. I couldn't tell you what it's making. I bet it's probably, it made 224 before. I bet it's probably making like 240 rear wheel right now. I mean, it's not tuned correctly or anything. That's it, guys. Basically, I have a few more things I need to do to prep for mid-pond. Getting that wiring fixed and tucking it up and stuff was a big part of that. It fixed a lot of issues with my car. My car is running better than it ever has. All of my stuff is functioning correctly. My lights work. I can actually just drive my car and enjoy it. I don't have to manually jump my fuel pump every time. You guys got to see me wild out on stage 4 on my truck a little bit. I'm about to be doing a lot more with my truck here soon, so stay tuned for that. But I guess I'll catch you guys on the next one. Like if you like the video. See ya.